Lovely. Obviously, top of the tables is a tough one. What's the mood of the camp going into this one?
It's positive. We were trying to, make everything as upbeat as possible. It is, it's the top of the league club that are coming up here, but we'll give a good account ourselves. We'll make it hard for them, given what we've got, and we need to try and dig out a result.
3-2 over Hamilton last weekend for Ayr, so it's just more evidence of just how tight the whole thing is.
Yeah, we watched the game. Obviously Hamilton were really good, probably deserved, the least they deserved would have been a draw. I thought Ayr definitely stole 3 points. I think Lee Bullen would have said the same, and you saw him on the touchlines not happy with his team's performance. But that's a good sign when a team's not playing well and winning games of football. That's a good sign.
You're obviously in need of that win to break the run of games. Is it concerning you at the moment?
Obviously, it would be wrong to say it doesn't. There is a concern there, but the biggest concern is obviously, and we hate to go on about it, but it's the injury list. It's a massive concern. We've applied to the Scottish League for to see if they would let us take our loan players back from the boys that are out at the Highland League. It's that bad. So we've asked for a special dispensation, and we're waiting to hear back from them whether that's successful or not.
Can you put a bit more meat on the bones in terms of names of?
Well, it's the players that are out on loan at Highland League clubs, but these are young boys, so they're 18, 19-year-old. But save us having schoolboys on the bench and stuff like that. If we can get them, and it gives us a few options, because at the minute we've got 0 options, and it's no excuse, it's fact.
What precedent has been set in the past in terms of what you're asking for?
Well, it was during COVID, but it's St Mirren got a special dispensation to do it, so that's the precedent there, and that we're playing on. We're not playing on that. We're hoping that although the circumstances are slightly different, the end result's the same.
Now,
with no team. Without
that assistance, what are the alternatives?
Pretty much schoolboys. We had Aaron Nicholson was on the bench last week and go on for 10-15 minutes. And it's going to be more of the same, because we might have 2 boys out that started last week, and we have another 2 boys out. So you're then dipping into, if you look what subs we had last week, and you've got to dip into 2 of them, it leaves you with myself and Kelker and Essen and that type. So it's that bad, unfortunately. But like we said, we will get a team out on the pitch that will give their 100%.
How late a decision might there be on that?
No clue. Hopefully we'll hear before Saturday.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
Thanks,
Could you give me an idea of the current magnitude of the injury? It's obviously goes up and down as time goes by, but what kind of size of contingent are you talking about at the moment, Barry?
We've got a whole team out. Well, we've got 10 outfield players out. 10 players that would probably, without being disrespectful to the boys that are still playing, these 10 players have played a lot of football for our club. And would be considered regulars. So, well, you've got a whole team out. It's. I've never seen anything like it in all my days in football. I've never seen anything, and it's not even little niggles. It's not, he's rolled his ankle. We've got some serious injuries there.
That strikes me as a wee bit worse than the last time I asked that question.
Yeah, well, it's since then. As the last time I did a press, we've got another, 4 out or something like that, and every one of them, we just looked at the list just now, and every one of them's in game, so it's not as if we're not looking at what we're doing in training. We've mixed training up, we've taken them off their feet, we've been spinning them, but then you need to get the high intensity into them as well, so we've got to try and balance it carefully. And we've got through the week without any injuries, which is about as much as we can hope for at the minute.
In terms of your bench then, you were saying that it could be very much reduced. From the way you're describing it, if there are 10 outfield players injured, that is going to be a very sparse bench, isn't it?
Yeah, I think at the minute we're hopeful that maybe one of the two that we got last week may be back. And that's been hopeful. So then obviously, like I said there, if you look at that and there's no one else coming back because they are long term, they'll be the new year or December at the earliest for one or two of them. You look what we've got. You know, on last week we had Stephen Boyd and Lewis Hyde, and then you're into the younger kids. So if we've got two out, you can see where I'm going with this. It's
Can you see any pattern? Is there any sort of underlying cause you can identify, or is it just look like a lengthy spell of really bad luck?
It's that. We've looked at it. We've analysed training. It's been the same as we've done for last year under Billy. We've got the same training regime. But every injury's happened in game, so you can't legislate for that. You can't legislate for, Roddy McGregor, for example, at Cove, just getting a little nudge and then doing an injury that happened to him. Dan Mackay, running through, and you can't legislate for it.
Realise I've already asked too many questions and I haven't even asked you about the game. You've got the league leaders at home.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity with a league as tight as this, isn't it, really?
It is. We can get one big performance out of the boys that we put on the pitch. It might not be pretty, but it'll not be for the lack of effort from them. If we can dig that out, all of a sudden you're back in the pack again, and that's sometimes all it takes is just this one result. And then you're buying time. You've maybe got the Scottish Cup tie, so you've maybe got a couple of weeks after that. So you're trying to buy time. We're trying to stay in there and buy time until some of the players come back.
And you did beat Ayr down there less than 2 months ago.
Yeah, we did. We had to weather a lot of pressure that day, and it could be the same on Saturday, but we did. We weathered it well. I think we had a lot of corners that day, but we defended ever so well. And scored a really good goal, Cammy Harper's header. So yeah, I'll take that. I'll bite that off your hands right now.
Thanks so much, Barry.
Cheers.
Sorry for taking so long, guys.
No more injury talk, Barry. Right, we're sick of it.
Good.
Just a quick one last week, Barry. So a lot was made in the possession stats last week, but I mean we went 1-0 up. We made a few chances to maybe get a second goal. Is it just maybe get that second goal and give ourselves a wee bit of cushion, i.e. that Bros game, for example?
I think last week that was probably very true, Stevie. Yeah, I think we spoke about that. Had we got that second goal, I think Billy had the chance with the header for Nathan's cross. Had it been 2-0, maybe different, maybe not, but it might have been different. It might knock the stuffing out of them a little bit more. Still not convinced the possession stats, but you got to take it, and I get that they had a lot of possession. But with the possession that we did have, if it was right, I'm still, we still created chances. With 2 or 3 in the first half, 2 or 3 in the second at least. And as we talked about, with what we've got and with nothing much to change, and you're asking the same players week in, week out, dig out another 90, not giving them that rest. There's all little bits that come into the makeup of the team and of a performance. So there were still things there. There was obviously we made a lot of mistakes. We know that. For example, if a team are really at you, what you don't want to be doing is playing in front of them and letting them nick it and come back on the top of you. So we're saying, look, sometimes it might not be pretty. Go and turn them. Get them facing their own goal again, and try and give your defenders a breather. We probably didn't do that. So there's things to learn, obviously, but let's say it's for some of them it's a hard learning process at the minute.
Well, obviously you mentioned the Ayr game. Is this probably an ideal game? It's not bounced back for, but it's a carrot to where you want to be rather than play a team that's maybe struggling at the moment?
Possibly. You always want to test yourselves. At the minute, Ayr are the best team in the league because they're top. They're a handful. Obviously, we all saw the game last Friday night where Akinyemi's a real handful up top. But like I said, there was things that you see that Hamilton managed to do against them that you think, okay, let's can we go down those avenues and see if we can hurt them ourselves.
Last night, obviously, World Cup, no top flight football. Are you hoping that maybe that can maybe get a few more fans through the door and maybe some casual fans that haven't seen us for a while?
Are you expecting Ross County fans to come and watch us? Maybe you might get a few. You might get a few, Stevie. It would be nice if they did. We could certainly. It would be nice, but like I said, and nice if the ones that do come really get behind the boys, because the boys really do need their help. We need every bit of help we can get right now.
Alright, good luck Saturday, mate. Cheers.
Thanks, Steve. Cheers.
Zach Delaney came off with a hamstring injury last week, so I presume he's one of the ones that is struggling for the weekend, or probably out. Can you confirm that and say who else would be a doubt, or would you rather not?
I'd rather not, because otherwise, if I'd just be telling Ayr our team, because I'll work out what we've got left, Paul. But Zach's got a chance. We're not ruling Zach out either. He's still got a chance. But the good news that we've had is that it's not as bad as soon as you think hamstring, you think 6 weeks. Yeah. But I think there was more a bit of fatigue in the hamstring, whether it was AstroTurf or just the type of game it was. But I think he'd been complaining of a little bit of tightness in the hamstring during the game. So we don't think it's not went. I think it's just I'm sure it was just a little bit. It's maybe more cramping than anything. So there's still a chance that Zach might start. We're there with him, but I kind of let on the other one.